I've been a lifelong entrepreneur, never had a real job. Primarily known for my notorious stint in Miami nightlife. I've always been driven by the fact that if something interests me, I will go after it, no matter how random it might appear to others, no matter if I lack the knowledge, no matter if I lack the experience, the resources. That's how I've gotten here.
Hi, Sean. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. I'm at my peak performance, I feel, now that I'm on this show.
Look at that. I love it. I love the energy. So, I've been wanting to talk to you because you are a polymath. You have lived
That's
many
right. I've
lives.
been wanting to talk to you, so it's good that we're here.
There we go. There we go. You are a polymath in your current life right now. You're helping entrepreneurs connect with VCs. But tell me a little bit about how you got here.
I've been a lifelong entrepreneur, never had a real job. That's because nobody would hire me. I was forced to figure it out on my own, done a lot of different things, primarily known for my notorious stint in Miami nightlife, where I spent almost 2 decades being a pivotal figure in some of the best nightclubs in the world, working with celebrities, working with brands, having a lot of fun, and going from that to writing books, going to that from to lecturing at different universities to eventually working with startups, working in venture, appearing on Jeopardy, lots of different things. It's I've always been driven by the fact that if something interests me, I will go after it, no matter how random it might appear to others, no matter if I lack the knowledge, no matter if I lack the experience, the resources. I was never one to have anything stop me as far as excuses, as far as what people think. I just went after it. And not everything worked, but I feel like I always learned something from it and I don't look at it as wasted time. And I feel like because I've been able to do that multiple times and repeat it, that's how I've gotten here. So it's like I'm the old school chat cheap. Give me a prompt, we'll talk about it. But yeah, lots of just different things that I was curious about and that I was into, and the things that I wasn't curious about and that I wasn't into, I didn't do. It was that simple. I don't like accounting, so I didn't really do accounting. It's that simple. I like nightlife and marketing and guerrilla marketing and sales and venture capital and comic books and movies and regular books and videos. So that's what I'm into, and that's what I got into. I like philosophy, I like psychology. So I just go into what I want to do, and I don't really care about what anyone else thinks about it. Because whenever you go off your sort of path, in quotes, path, people tend to say, "What are you doing?" And I've heard it all before. This is especially the case for entrepreneurs. Don't quit the day job. You have to have a day job to quit it, but don't quit day job. Don't rock the boat. You should stick with what you're good at. I don't think it's right for you. You're too young. You're too old. You don't have a degree. Your degree's in something else. You don't know anyone. You don't have any connections. You hear this all. So the majority of the population is, yeah, you're right. And then the crazy people like ourselves are like, what? So they just keep going. So yeah, that's a short version of how I came here in a room with you.
Love it. This intensity that you bring with yourself to every venture you get into, where you pour yourself into it. I love that because that's missing from a lot of people. A lot of people just half-assing stuff, right?
I
Not
mean,
going all in.
I feel like people just want to check the box. That's it. They want to put something cool on their social media. It's all about the handle, okay? Founder, CEO, entrepreneur, chief innovation officer. People just want to look cool and to others. But when it comes to actually doing the work, it's not so cool. Okay. I
Yeah.
had the coolest gig in the world. I was in the fun business. Okay. The fun business is fun when you have the models and the celebrities and the beautiful people and the DJ. When you don't have that and the club is empty and you have to actually pack it because it's your job to do it and your job to make it fun, it's not so fun. And that was always how we weeded people out because everybody always wanted to do what I did, but they wanted to do it under the best circumstances. So let's just say, for instance, Calvin Harris is playing. I don't know if he's still popular. Back when I was doing it, he was like the number one DJ in the world. So when Calvin Harris was playing, when it was sold out, you couldn't get in, no tickets, no tables, nothing. That's when they wanted them to work. I want to come because I can bring everybody. But when it's the next random Wednesday, when there's no name DJ, no one in the place is empty. Oh, I can't make it, or oh, no one wants to go. But when the next big person is there, I'll go. Sure, no problem. I'll pencil you in for Taylor Swift. Do you think you can like help with that? Like we need the help. But the same thing goes for entrepreneurship. The same thing goes for small businesses. The same thing goes that whatever is trending and looks fun, I want to do it because it's trending and looks fun. But the trending and looks fun part is 1%. The 99% is the stuff you don't see. The 99% is the long days and the long nights and the tedious work and the meetings that don't happen and the people that flake on you and the sales that don't go through and the accounts you're chasing to pay you. Like that's what people don't see. And I feel like, for whatever you go after, you'll learn sooner or later, but it's best to learn through the experience of others. You know what to expect because there's a lot of people that just want to hop on. They will hop onto something that's amazing. And as soon soon as it's not amazing, it's gone. We're not doing it. You could easily see it in entrepreneurship, where just a few years ago, everybody was in the metaverse. Remember the metaverse? We were going to be able to put on these glasses and hang out in the metaverse space station, and it was going to be awesome. And everybody was talking about the future of the metaverse. And oh, wait, boom, metaverse isn't happening. All those companies are now doing AI. They had to go from Web3 because Web3 was hot, not hot anymore. AI is hot. I don't know what's going to be hot next, but I'm sure when the current companies are trying to do AI for spaghetti, when that doesn't work out, they're going to pivot to something else.
Absolutely. There's so much truth in what you just said, right? Especially the entrepreneurship part of it. Everybody looks at an entrepreneur and thinks, wow, what a glamorous job, right? You're running a business, you have a profile, people are attracted to you. Nobody understands the grind that goes behind that 99% work that you said to get that 1% fame, right? Let me ask you this thing. As someone who has reinvented his life over and over again, right? There must be a process that you follow in your head, gets you success, that brings you be able to that intensity in everything you do. In entrepreneurship, when people are getting started, one of the biggest things they struggle with is getting leads, right? They don't have money to pay for ads. It's all about connections. It's all about organic marketing. You are a super connector. So what are some of the process that you have utilized, not only throughout the lives you have lived, but also currently now, that you could tell people on how to make connections, how to get leads to be able to close some sales?
Oh, I can go a whole podcast into this.
Let's do it.
So I've never really run ads. I did when I had my first e-commerce business when I was like 13, 12. I had to then. But ever since coming out of that, so for over 20 years, I've never paid for a Google ad. I don't even know how to pay for a Google ad. I don't know how to pay for a Facebook ad. I don't know how to do any of that. Yeah, they work, but it's a lot of money. And it's great. Look at the click rates. So when people don't have those resources, they have to go and do cold outreach. The problem with the cold outreach is they just shoot a gun and they fire at everybody that has a pulse, not who they're supposed to be going after. That's one. Two, they use ChatGPT and they're lazy about it. They just say, generate me a cold outreach message. So it says, insert company name in the brackets. And they don't even insert it. They just insert contact information. Like they're so lazy. I get these kinds of messages. Or they do insert it, but it still comes off as inauthentic and it comes off as slimy. We all get it. If you have a LinkedIn profile, you get it. Okay. We all have a LinkedIn profile. We all get a message saying, I can help you do this. Like just here's the random message. Hi, my name is X. I specialize in helping people like you do X. I think I could really improve your sales for doing X. Here's my calendar. Let's book a time earlier so I can help you get to your dreams of accomplishing X. Signed contact information. These are all terrible. These are stupid, right? They don't work. We can see through them. We don't want it. The way I've always done it is one, I've always had an outgoing presence and I've always had the ability to market myself, right? So right now on my LinkedIn, I talk every day, Monday through Friday, just about funny stories from entrepreneurship and venture capital that also provide insightful advice, because it's the opposite of what on LinkedIn, where it's, I am so honored to get an internship at the gas station. I could never have accomplished this without the support of my parents and the guy taking a chance on an unknown. It's something really stupid that shouldn't be celebrated. It's like a requirement, but we have to turn it into a triumph. So you have to actually provide real value in whatever you market about yourself, right? Authentic, honest value without showboating, without coming off as slimy. It's very hard to do. But you also have to have the ability to deliver on your value. So if whatever you're doing as your business, if you can do it well and under promise and over deliver, then you have a happy client. A happy client is going to make referrals. When I was in nightlife, it was all referrals. And it started with one person that led to another person and led to another person. That's how it is. You build it one person at a time. It's not sexy. Sexy is I posted something online and got 75 bazillion views, and now, boom, I'm a viral sensation. Great. That's probably one of the hardest things to do because you're throwing everything up to luck and who knows what's going to happen. And if you're not doing something cringeworthy and stupid, it's probably not going to happen. So you have to have you have to establish yourself as someone that has value and that can provide value to your customers. And you don't be afraid to ask, to say, hey, if you know anybody, because it's always a struggle to get clients. It's always a struggle. It took me years of building up the nightlife. I don't want to say it was an empire. I'll say it was a fiefdom. Okay. Building out a small little plot, but it took years of doing that until I got to a point where I had a distribution network. I'd wake up every day and I would just have all inbound from across the world. Everybody texting me. I got your number from someone's friend gave you my number. In a random case, I got your number from someone on the train. Okay. Wasn't a hobo, I hope. Who runs a train? No, it was in the subways in New York. Oh, okay. So yeah, it was just people trusted me because I delivered. That was it. It's how'd you get the job? You answered a phone. Was it ringing? Yes. Wow. Smart guy. You have to show up and you have to actually deliver. People are all about looking cool and looking successful than putting in the hard work of being successful. And the hard work, especially like when I was dealing with crazy people that were on drugs, that were drunk, that were deadbeats, that were dropouts. And those are just my coworkers. Okay. Those are just the coworkers. But you had to deal with all these different kind of archetypes. And you had to really be able to deliver, whether it was a college student, which was my bread and butter because I was in college, or to a celebrity, or to an NFL player, or to an extremely high net worth individual. You had to be able to maneuver. You had to be able to have personality. You had to be able to talk, and you had to be able to just again deliver. I keep saying that because once you do that, it's easy. This has been awesome. I have a friend coming. Give me your number, give me your card. And that's what it was. So starting out, you have to be good at what you do and you have to be able to demonstrate that. And there's so many avenues to find clients. And yet you might not be able to charge what you want to charge. Okay. You might have to do some really low ball stuff to get your clients, but you have to start somewhere. Okay. I had the best nightclubs in the world. But I didn't start at the best nightclubs in the world. I started at the places that nobody wanted to go to for the money nobody else would take on the nights that were popular. That's how you do it. And I built up a reputation among crowd that came with me and grew with me. And as I grew this crowd, more and more people wanted to know me, and I would just be collecting numbers. I remember at the time I would send out, thank goodness for unlimited text, 30 to 40,000 text messages a month. I'd have a database that big, and people would just hit me up, and I would just respond. That's it. Respond. I would text, yes, I can do it, and I can. If I couldn't, I'd say no. Yeah, people would get mad. Oh, you can't do it. People are going to get mad at you anyway. If you're charging $50 an hour and someone wants to say, I'll pay you $7, you're going to get mad. But people do that. People do that to me. I love you. I love everything you've done, but I'm really stuck on the price point. How is $12 an hour sound? What? How many hours are we talking? 1,000 hours a week? Or what are we talking? Like it's so it happens to everybody and you can't get caught in it. You just have to keep moving forward and you have to be authentic. And if you do your work diligently and authentically and honestly, then unknown friends will find you. People will seek you out. It's a matter of just being at the right place at the right time. And there's a phrase, it's not what you know, it's who you know, and it's always wrong. I hate that stupid phrase. It's always some stupid speaker giving it. It's not who you know, it's who knows you. Okay. It's the opposite. You're going to pop into someone's head for anything. Oh, Shaun, my toilet exploded. What am I going to do? I know a guy. He's really cheap. He's available. Call him. That's how it works. Right? It's okay. I could be there right now. Yeah, Shaun's the man. No problem. I usually would charge this. Shaun, I'll give you $20 off. Okay, that's what it is. You have a network of people that you can work with, or that have done good work for you, and that's what you do. You recommend. So it all comes down to delivering that service and being good and really having something to offer. I feel like just so many people they want leads, but they don't have anything to offer. That's the problem. You have to have something to offer, and you have to be really good at it. And you have to be. If you're not good at it, you have to come in at a lower price point. If you can't come in at a lower price point, you have to find some other way to maneuver your way in there for your clients.
Invaluable, right? Providing value, being the stand-up person who actually delivers every single time in a short turnaround time, being authentic, all of those things. I love it. And you're right. It's about who knows you. It's not about who you know, because in that sense, I know Tom Cruise. He just doesn't do any good.
Get me the president of the United States. I got to talk to him about something. Just get on line one. Doesn't make any sense.
Yep. So coming back to the LinkedIn message, right? Because this is a great topic because we get this all the time. You talked about having something of value to offer, which means finding a good offer. And then number two, we talked about cold outreach messages that are just garbage that nobody reads. So what would be the Shaun Gold way? What would be a good offer? And we can just create a company on the spot and a knowledge info product, somebody selling some type of a life transformation, life coaching. That happens all the time.
Does it have to be a horrible product? Let's just make a fictional product. Call it a widget. It doesn't matter. Okay, we're selling widgets. It's a fictional product. Okay, I would connect with someone and set a one-line request. Hey, I saw your profile. I think what you're doing is pretty interesting. I work in a similar space. I just wanted to connect. If they reply, thanks for connecting, I would try and engage in a conversation. Again, authentically. I would actually do my research, right? I would see if I had people in connection with them. I would just try and start a conversation and then say, here, this is what I'm offering. It's a widget. Keep it in mind. No Calendly link, no PDF, no business plan, no executive summary, no demo video, no partridge in a pear tree. No one's got time for that. Just come off cool because you never know who's going to be like, man, the widget broke. I knew someone that hit me on LinkedIn a week ago. Let me message him. Or what I do, because I do a lot of writing and content for different executives and founders, is I will write content that speaks to the audience so that people know that you are a leader in that space. So if you're in the widget space, I'm going to follow you for daily widget advice, right? And daily widget misery stories, maybe about my cold DMs that I get for other widgets that are terrible. But you have to establish your presence. You have to establish your brand. You have to come off as just time is money. Professional people don't have time to read all this stuff. They're not going to go through it. I had someone reach out to me that wrote some giant, like, I don't know if it wasn't a white paper. It was just a very heavy document. It was long enough to be the opening chapter in the Lord of the Rings. Okay. And I told him, I said, I'm not reading this, and no customer is going to read this. Like, it's not going to. Like, I don't know why you're sending this. No one is gonna, like, even the stuff that I want to read, I have to find time to really get in there and do it. And that's stuff I'm interested in. The novelization of The Return of the Jedi. Extra scenes in that book, but I have to find the time. You think I'm gonna read something I have no interest in because you're trying to sell me on a product that I don't want or a service that I don't need? And you think I'm gonna waste like an hour to go through all this stuff and go through with the footnotes and the links and like, dude, I'm not going to do it. So you have to be quick, you have to be to the point, and you have to have something that is of value to your target person. And not everybody wants what you're selling. Okay. Don't, here, let's make it simple. Don't sell hamburgers to a vegetarian. Okay. That's it. It's know your target market. Some people like something, some people need something. Everybody, especially entrepreneurs, especially startup founders, they want to be everything to everyone. Our total addressable market is like 77 trillion. And it's what that's the global addressable market for whatever that you're trying to do. You're going after the local frog butt Arkansas insect collector market, which is much smaller, right? Focus on that. That's your niche. So you have to figure out who your target persona is, and you have to figure out an offer that is so good that he's going to want to engage with you. And yes, it's tough, but it starts with one. It starts with one. Even again, when I was doing nightlife, people wanted to go to what was the hottest thing. They didn't want to go to a D-list club with an F-list marketing promoter like myself when I was starting. They didn't. But you have to work through it. You have to maneuver your way into it. You have to keep going. And above all, you have to be professional. I think people are not professional anymore. I think people take everything too personally. I think that if you don't do what they want you to do, they come off mean to you and mad, and you get the emojis and the message, like really stupid, childish stuff. And you can't do that. There's been multiple cases where people have come off not professional to me, but I was professional to them, and that opened doors that were life changing just by being professional, especially if it's on a message. Like, okay, if the message annoys you, you can just say, all right, thanks anyways. Done. You don't have to talk to them again. But people don't do that. They want to fight. They want to screenshot and post on my TikTok. How dare they talk to me about that when I'm just trying to sell them a widget? So it's a lot of pettiness, and you have to be professional, not petty.
Yeah. This idea about finding an offer that people actually want. Like you said, it's much easier said than done. What would be a process, just a general process that you would lay out that could help somebody figure out what that product is? Because there is nothing new under the sun. There's only certain types of businesses, right? And almost everybody's offering the same product. What is the Shaun Gold way of thinking in terms of, I think this is something that they would like? And you can just create whatever product you want, just as an example, to walk us through it.
It's a random on the spot question, requires some thought, but I'll try it. I'll give it a shot. I'll give it a shot for the viewers at home. Okay. So one, do your market research. What's everyone else doing, and why can you do it better? Right? What makes you different? What are your core comp, whether you have these skills that you established in your educational life, in your professional career, that you can combine to form something unique to yourself, right? What's a problem that people are facing that they need your help with? Why are you better than the competition? For instance, I do a lot of content, long form blogs, short form blogs, whatever they want. People can easily go and get somebody in another country for $5 an hour, right? No problem. The problem is that the work is going to be subpar. It's not going to reflect their brand. It's going to do more harm than good. It's probably going to be AI driven. It's from a non-native English speaker, so the grammar is going to, and the conjugation and everything's going to be off, even if they're using Grammarly and everything. It just is not going to come out the way they want it. So what has worth is worth paying. So if you can demonstrate that you have the skill set that can give them exactly what they want at a price that isn't lowball, and that you can even test it out and see, because when you're starting out, you can't go super premium. You can go like mid-range, low range, around there, and see what works, and then you build it from there. and you set your own price. People often have to wait for permission or they have to wait for some competitor to fail or someone else to lower the price. And I just always went with going with what worked. If it didn't work this time, maybe I'll lower it. If it did work, maybe I'll raise it. It's a constant experimentation, but you have to be able to provide something that no one else can. That usually comes from the unique blend of your core competencies, your skill sets, coming into the better price point, being in the same geography. A lot of people want people in the same time zone, forget same geography. Like I've worked with because people would try and scam them, say, "Oh yeah, I'm here in Australia on vacation. I don't live here, right? I can work on EST." When they're like, the first thing they say is, "Shaun, are you really in Miami?" I said, "Yeah." You want to do a video call? I'll show you right here. What time is it for you? Oh, it's 11:23. It's 11:23 for me. So they want that because they don't want to get scammed by people that if they need something done by 4 o'clock, we're both on the same time zone on the geography, and we know that needs to be done by 4, and that they're not going to fall asleep because it's 5 a.m. in whatever country they've never heard of. So you want to be able to be that person that can come in, that can be available, that can deliver, and that actually, again, it comes down to the work itself. Because you can be all those things, but if the work sucks, if the output sucks, there's nothing there. It's like anything. I went to a restaurant. How's the food? They didn't bring it to me, but I paid. Okay, it's the same thing for whatever you're offering. Or it was oily and it was runny. Oh, that really? Yeah, that was just a staff. So it's you want to come off as being again professional, having the value and being able to deliver because it's annoying to start anything. You have to start somewhere, but you slowly, one client at a time, build up a little network, build up a reputation. And if you're lucky, people are going to start recommending you and they're going to get referrals. And the way I did it again with the nightlife was, which I still use that network today, not all of it, but some of the key people I met was just again, here's my card. Give me your number. Send a text message out the next day. Great meeting you. If you or your friends need anything, this is my number. Have them drop your name. That's it. For years, like I said, didn't have to do anything. It was just text messages and emails coming in because I had to do something as far as being out, shaking hands, giving cards, giving numbers, sending out messages. That was what I had to do. Not a lot of work at the time. So people knew, and then people just came, right? And that's how I held down all these places. And people knew that when they came with me, they were getting an experience. They were getting an experience that if I said, you didn't have to pay, you didn't have to pay. You didn't have to wait. You didn't have to wait. You were going to sit VIP. You were going to sit VIP. Everything I said, I came through on. I did. Very simple. The only thing, sometimes things don't go as planned. And if there are wrongs, then you just write them. 99% of the time, people will accept the apology and making it right. Some people want nothing to do with you. I think maybe once or twice in almost 2 decades, I had two people that just were fed up and didn't want to deal with it because they had a bad experience. Everybody else understood. Whatever the case may be, I always went above and beyond to help them for years because I felt bad person to make it up for them to the point where they didn't even remember what I was making it up. Wait, what? That was back when I was 18. Like, I still feel bad about it because that's just how I was when it came to that. So you have to treat your business, your product, your service as an extension of yourself, as an extension of your personality, of your mind, your mindset, your intelligence, what you stand for, your values, and use that to your advantage. And people want that. They want that authentic connection. It wasn't even the point of I'm working with this brand. It's more I'm working with Mark. I'm working with Shaun. That's it.
No, great points. Great points. I love it. Being able to create the business as an extension of your personality and coming through. Very important. Let me ask you this because you touched on this and I want to dig deeper into this. You talked about internet and everybody has a megaphone because of the internet, right? And people getting so upset at so little things, right? For somebody who's getting started as an entrepreneur, criticism is something that holds them back. There's not only self-doubt and self-sabotage and all those things. If they do venture out and they are trying to be brave and they put themselves out there just a little bit and now they get hit by bad feedback, right? How do you build up that mental resilience? How do you do it as a person, first of all? And then how do you think others should go about it as a process to build up the mental resilience so they don't get bogged down by whoever's saying whatever about them?
Two ways. You learn through your own experience or you learn through the experience of others. I've always been a big reader, history especially. So you learn through the experience of these historical figures, how they overcame failures, how they overcame setbacks, how they overcame the most dire situations, how they overcame the impossible, that the abilities that life threw at them. So you stand on their shoulders, the shoulders of giants. Second, you just have to do it on your own. You have to get punched in the face to know what it feels like because
Yes.
that pain doesn't go away. It just finds a stronger, more resilient person. You have to deal with the criticism. My whole life was criticism. That's what it is. If you go your own path, that it's you're opening the doors to criticism, and people don't want that. They want to be like, "Oh, you're so awesome. This is great. You do good work." Work's amazing. You're up for a promotion. My manager's associate, senior boss heard about you. Like they all want that. Okay. They don't want to have this is terrible. This is dreck. I expected more. This wasn't. You just have to experience it for yourself and go through it. And it's not that big of a deal. You can't let it hold you back. I've had instances when I was doing the nightlife where it was just failures, like failures to the point where we had, like in the movies, like a briefcase full of money, but we had a giant failure of a party. So all that briefcase of money, we had to return the money to everybody. Now, I could have essentially said, nope, all sales final. You're on your own. Buyer beware. But that wasn't me. And I'm long term. And I'd rather have it in my mind that one, I can sleep at night. And two, I'd rather do the right thing, even if they're mad at me, to be like, yeah, he gave me my money back. And a year later, I'm going out with him because he was honest and he was trustworthy. I'm going to his events. I'm recommending him. That's how it always is. We've had to do that before. And it's fine. You have to eat your expenses because it's not about you. You say everyone has a megaphone. It's about me. Look at me. Look at this. Look at the views. Look at the hashtags. Look at the comments. Oh man, this guy just put a fire symbol. Okay, but if you're in business, it's about them. It's about your customers. It's about your clientele. Okay, it's not about you. You want to be about you. Find another outlet that's not business. Okay, Call of Duty is always good. Look at my prestige level. You don't have to brag about it. You can feel cool about it, but it's something for the business. It's always about them. And again, I come from the service industry, the hospitality industry, which is bled into my startup and VC work. So it's always about servicing your client. It's always about, what can I help you with? I always go above and beyond. And one thing that always keeps me in check is that I treat my new client as if it's my first client, right? So my next client gets the same first client. So imagine all the great cloud and reviews and prestige and awards, all that's gone. This is just a brand new opportunity. I can't mess this up. That's how I do everything. Try to give them as much value as they can. You don't have to give them everything, set some boundaries, but give them more than they were expecting. Make them feel good about the situation. Make them feel happy about using you. Make them want to just on their own accord write something nice about you on LinkedIn and say, if anybody needs, this is the best guy for widgets. That's it. And they tag you. And then engage with that, open up with it. But you have to be about others. You have to serve others in your business. You're not serving yourself. If you want to serve yourself, then be an influencer among the 3 billion others and see how it goes. Or have a business that you can use, make money from and use to your advantage and really help people. It's about helping people. If you have a product, you have a product that helps them make their life easier. If you have a service, it's a service that it's essential or it's a service that makes their life easier. So it's about them. Again, it's not about looking cool. Again, I was looking cool because I was in the fun business. It was my job to come off as looking cool, but that was one part of it. The other 99% was actually getting in the people that I brought out and have making sure they have a good time. The coolness resulted from that. It didn't result from me showing up dressed cool or standing out there or high-fiving someone or taking pictures, all that stuff. All that happened, but the majority of my time was spent working. The majority of my time was, hey, I invited this person out. They brought a bus of 45 people. I need to get them in and fast because I told them I would. So I have to do that. Not just wait here for an hour. I'm going to go hang out with Taylor Swift. Like it's not, but that's people's mentality. Oh, wait, make the customer wait so I can do something for myself. No, like you're there to serve the customer. You're there to get them in. You're there to make sure they have a good experience. Same thing with the widgets. You're there to give them the best widget experience that they can. If there's something's wrong with the widget, then you have to make it, amend it. You have to make it better. Send them a new one, give them a discount, whatever the case may be. Because people don't want to deal with that. They don't. They just want to say in and out, give me your money. In and out, give me your money. See you later. Bye.
Love it. What are you doing in the startup and VC world these days?
I'm multiple things. I'm a partner at Improve Ventures, which is focused on emerging markets. Before everyone rushes to slide into the DMs, it is startups in sub-Saharan Africa, Southeast Asia, and Latin America. Outside of that, I'm doing something in secondaries with late stage funds. So again, unless you're a Series B company or above, don't slide into the DMs. Now, if you need help with your startup, as far as content, thought leadership, your pitch deck, your strategy, strategic connections, my network, yeah, slide into the DMs. We're cool. I've worked with hundreds of different founders now across verticals, everything you could imagine, whether it was pitch decks, whether it was LinkedIn posts, whether it was blog posts. I helped build out OpenVC, OpenVC.app, which I built out the partnership program, the content program. A lot of my articles are read. They come up on page one on Google. Really proud about that. So articles on venture capital, startups, how does venture capital work? How does a pre-seed round work? How does a seed round work? All that stuff. Yeah, I'm always writing. I do a lot of different things, and it really just depends on what people want. I don't do anything technical. So if they want UX design, back end, all that stuff, I don't do it. but I've done everything non-technical in a startup, from raising funds to making introductions to business development strategy, whatever the case may be.
So if somebody wanted to work with you to, let's say, just because you write so much, content
Mhm.
marketing strategy, because you have a great following, you're a great writer, how would they work with you? Is it like a one-on-one service, or how does that work?
Yeah, so essentially it depends what they need. So LinkedIn is essentially a big portion of it. So I would speak with them, they would fill out a questionnaire, and then I would mimic their voice and create topics tailored specifically to them through the conversation and through the information provided or through research, not GPT, which a lot of people use. And again, comes off weird. When I started, insert company name, it comes off very weird. Yeah, I would do that. Or if they want actual like landing page, or if they want, for instance, I work with some funds on their fund strategy, their fund thesis, their pitch decks for their one pagers, all that. It really depends. But yeah, it's always one on one. Everything is unique to every person because every founder, entrepreneur, small business is unique as well. So it's always tailored to them. Nothing is ever reused, nothing is ever duplicated. And again, I work with so many different people that whether it's Fortune 100 executives, Fortune 500, founders, early stage, late stage, exited, across the board, I work with them all. So it really depends what they need because some of them want writing, some of them want help with the deck, some of them want help with the connections, some of them want help with biz dev. So I'm a one-stop shop just because of my network and what I've done, and I'm always eager to help. The way I put it is I have friends in high places and low places, and they all will accept my email.
Love it. Love it. So let's talk about some things that the listeners can utilize right after this call, right? You are such a great writer and you have built such a good network. And we just talked about content marketing. Can you give some basic pointers toward how someone should go about a content marketing strategy? I know you talked about your writing style of being
Mhm.
funny, but also educational. But what are some pillars that you abide by that you educate the listeners on?
So I think we've delved into it. Authenticity, content that is actually useful and not just like an ego booster or not just if it has to start with I'm honored, I'm privileged, I'm blessed. Nobody wants to hear that.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to. Like it's full of that. Social media is full of that. Everybody's so blessed and honored and privileged, but then when you meet them in real life, they're all like depressed and annoyed and angry, and they don't look anything like they do online. It's again, it has to come off as authentic, and you have to determine like a niche for your business, and you have to dominate that niche, and you have to actually create stuff that resonates, and it takes time. That's the one thing people just want to write something and overnight, boom, New York Times bestseller. Okay, it doesn't work that way. You have to have a following. You have to have people that know who you are, what your brand is, what you represent, and you have to give them daily content. People are consumers. They want to consume stuff that could help them and help their business. Whatever your niche is, if you're again, let's go back. If you're in the widget business and you're giving, here's what I look for in a widget. Here are the best widget producers. Here are the best widget consumers. Here are the best widget sales strategies. There's so much you can do coupled in with personal stories that can illustrate that you're a human being. Here's how I lost $1 million on my widget factory. Whatever the case may be, that's what people like. So the content strategy, again, it needs to be something that they have a content bank. It's something that they are an expert in, or that they can at least work their way up to be an expert in. And it's not just random thoughts that aren't going to lead anything. We have enough people putting random thoughts. It's called X. Okay. There's too many people doing the randomness of it all. It's just, we don't need that. We need stuff that's tailored so that people want to follow you because they know what to expect. They want to learn, if they want to laugh, if they want to get educated, if they want to actually get help with their business, hire you. That's the way to do it.
Do you think ChatGPT has made it easier or harder for organic, real content marketers for yourself, like yourself?
It's as of now, I'm a bit indifferent as not being harder or easier because yeah, you can use it, but I feel like people don't know how to use it. If people just type in generate this for me, and I see it all the time. I use this with ChatGPT. I'm like, yeah, it makes no sense. It sounds like it's garbage. I can tell. People can tell. And the thing is that the thing I hate about AI, uh, it's a concern for me is that people, especially the younger generation, that have the capacity to learn and form new neural pathways by reading and studying and overcoming and struggling and having someone say it's not good enough or that there's errors, don't have to deal with that. They could just say, ChatGPT did it. Right. And because Chat did it, they don't have to overcome that. Here, I'm going to read this book, which if this book has changed your life, instead of reading it, ChatGPT, tell me what the book's about, right? They're missing out on the treasure that's in there. They're
Mm,
missing out on the ability to overcome an inability to write very well, an inability to craft a story, an inability to sell, because human beings as a species are natural stories, always have been, always will be. And in business, you have to tell a story to sell something, product or service, or yourself, or your business. So So you need to have that. You can't just throw it in there. And you could easily tell because everyone's in such a rush. I remember when ChatGPT came out like a year and a half ago, everybody that was in content they were in a rush to rebrand themselves as prompt engineers, which is just as pathetic as it sounds. It's like saying that you're an Excel expert because you know how to open it. So yeah, everybody was in such a rush, and I feel like prompt engineer, it's like not that hard. So I feel like people need to be able to have a skill set where they can instantly do it because even if you use ChatGPT and you level up, say you were to come onto a podcast like this or meet a client, you're going to have to know what you're talking about. It's going to be really apparent if you don't know anything and if you're just an idiot. And sadly, most people are, at least in my line of work. They just use ChatGPT, don't know anything. I got this deck made with AI or AI did my business plan. They just, okay, it's done. Here, give me my money. Where's my customers? Where's my clients? Nobody wants to put in the effort and the work and face the criticism, face the rejection, and face the time that it takes. Because it does take time. It does. And it's people don't want that. They want the money now. I want it right now, this second. I don't want to wait 2 years or 5 years or 10 years. I want to be who I want to be right now. And I want to do it with ChatGPT, no money, no knowledge, no value, nothing to offer. And I don't know what I'm doing, but I have a free GP account. So you have to go beyond that. You have to be able to learn other skills and combine them in a way that's unique to you and expand your horizons. And you're not going to be able to find something if you're not doing anything. Yes, it may take a while to stumble upon something. So, but I can promise you that doing nothing will lead to nothing. No one's just going to discover you. It takes work to be discovered. They say it takes 15 years to be an overnight success. I think it's more to 20. Okay. I think that's what it is. And when I was building, whatever I was building out, it always took time. It always took time and I accepted it. I never complained about it. I just knew I had to keep going to do what I had to do. All of a sudden, you end up where you want it to be and you don't even realize that like you're there because it doesn't seem real because it's taken you time, it's taken you effort, it's taken you rejection, it's taken you people telling you that you suck, it's taking people telling you shouldn't be in the business, it's taking people telling you the worst person ever at this, it's taking people say you're the worst businessman. Like you need to have that. Okay, you need to be able
Yeah.
to experience that.
Yeah, absolutely. The lessons learned from suffering, they are so much deeper than the lessons learned just from reading a book or using the neural pathways, like you mentioned, that are formed when you actually read a book or you learn how to write well. They don't just happen when you're using custom GPT. But I think the barrier to entry into writing has gotten a lot lower because anybody would put prompt can generate something. But so far, good writers has still have an edge because even the average writers are now going to ChatGPT. So the gap has widened in between the good and the bad because the average folks, in an attempt to get better, they have moved backwards by using custom.
Essentially, and listen, writing is as simple and as difficult as one word at a time. That's it. There's no grand thing. It's writing one word at a time. So real writers say you have to write every day and you have to write X amount of words every day, right? I don't really subscribe to that. I write when I feel like I have it. I do create content every day, but I don't write X amount of words. Stephen King, 1,000 words a day, he's done. That's it. I was doing sometimes during the pandemic 8 to 10,000 words a day, just for fun, just for practice, because I enjoyed it. Right now, I write again content for my clients, and I'll write content for myself. So every day I'm writing, but I don't have a set hours. When it hits me, it hits me, and I don't want it to be boring. And if I don't feel like doing something, I'm not going to do it because people will say, okay, no matter how bad it is, just put it out there. And it's, yeah, but if I don't feel like it, I know it's going to be terrible. And I'd rather have a blank page to work with than something I wrote that looks just terrible. That looks like it wasn't written by me, but written by like a crack addict who was also drunk that wanted to be a writer. I don't need to redo that. I'd rather just focus on, okay, I'm not feeling it today because I've already done a lot and I'm just going to chill out. And it's fine. I'm not really trying to burn out my brain, but I do read every day. And I think you have to read every day. And books, because people say, I read every day. What was the last book you read? Catch 22. In freshman high school? Yes. You have to read. This summer, I've been on like a summer reading list, like in elementary school. Mostly novels. I read some business stuff, but I don't really like business books anymore. They're all the same garbage. If they have someone's ugly face on the cover promising to make me a millionaire or be successful, unlock the potential, I run for the hills. I've read a lot of novels this summer, continue to reading a lot of novels just because it's better for my brain. And again, it unlocks more pathways and it unlocks more just knowledge that I wouldn't already think of. And they're entertaining. We forget, be entertained, up level yourself by learning more new verbs and adjectives and be entertained with a good story and good characters.
Well, Shaun, in a world of stress and anxiety and pressure from entrepreneurship and worrying about all these things, you are nothing but a bright sunshine.
Oh, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen.
There you go. Your energy is infectious, and I can see the brand that you carry within yourself, because you're not just somebody, not only somebody who provides incredible value, but you're fun to work with. And I can
That's
see it
right.
in your personality.
We put the fun.
There we go. We put the fun in fun. Oh boy.
Yeah.
So Shaun, tell us, our listeners, what are you working on? Anything that's going on with you?
Yeah, there's so many different things I'm working on. It's again, I've got a screenplay with a Netflix director attached and a producer, currently attaching talent. That's pretty fun. I'm working on another screenplay. I'm working on a few different projects, one in the political space, one again entertainment space, which is going to be animated form. So that's pretty fun. And then just a lot of different work for entrepreneurship, entrepreneurs, funds, executives, just whatever they need. As I said, I'm a one-stop shop. I try to make stuff happen, but I always keep it fun. I'm always lecturing. I just taught at I think my university the other day. So that was fun. And real universities, not New Jersey Turnpike Community College, or as they call it, the Pike, not the Pike. So real school. So I'm always looking to speak more. I'm always looking to get out more and just add real no nonsense value that people can use and people can use to upskill themselves and actually level up and not just have it go in one ear and out the other, like the majority of content out there today. It's just like how to be a millionaire. Step one, get $1 million. Okay, awesome. Come to my next TED Talk.
Love it, love it, love it. Shaun, thank you so much for coming on the show, helping us with understanding the basics of writing and being better and overcoming imposter syndrome and putting yourself out there. The value you've provided in this podcast is incredible. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. I had fun. Do we have a link
Yes.
below? Smash that link below.